One of the more frequently asked questions I get as a triathlon coach, and even as an age group swim coach, is if I'm not able to get to the pool as often as I would like, is the Vasa Ergometer really going to help me become a better swimmer? And the answer to that question is absolutely, unequivocally yes. And the reason is really simple. This tool, in terms of the way it's designed and the way it can be used, allows you to repeat correct swimming movements on it. It allows you to develop good technique and good skill. Because you get objective feedback from it, you can develop power and muscular endurance with all 4 strokes and do it in a way that's progressive and very, very efficient. One of the things I really love about it for the athletes that I coach is I know exactly what they're doing with the data that I get back from them on the erg. And I also think that this tool, in terms of the way it's designed, allows them to train very specifically for the races that they're doing, Tim. You know that triathlons are about muscular endurance. They're about power. They're about surging. They're about remaining efficient and avoiding or resisting fatigue so the swim can really be a warm-up to the rest of the race. And this tool allows them to really train those aspects of swimming.
I find when working with elite athletes that we use a Vasa Ergometer supplementary, and if we're finding out where their power is, we can assess whether they have a strong kick or is their upper body strength or upper body power weak. By training on the ergometer, if we lift their average sustainable power, we see a direct correlation to the pool. On the flip side of that, we also use the ergometer a lot when athletes have injuries. They could be sick, have a sinus infection, or where they can't or are limited in their pool swim time. So we use the ergometer so that their training is not missed. We can maintain consistency. And we also see with less training time by using the ergometer, they actually become much more powerful and stronger in the water once they return.
I have a couple of athletes I coach that because of their life circumstances, they just can't get to the pool. It's just the way it is. And for a couple of these athletes, it was almost like, am I forced to give up the sport? What has been amazing to me as a coach is that with progressive and careful training, where they're very mindful of how they train on the erg, and we progress their training over time, I'm seeing athletes that are actually setting PRs in their swim portions of their races, even though they're hardly ever going to the pool. And that's a fact. It is what it is, and it's been really exciting for me to explore that aspect of training on the erg.
Yeah, and I found also using this is great for doing swim to bike work. A lot of the ITU athletes that I work with, it's often difficult or logistically difficult to get them in the water and then on a bike when they're in a pool. But by using the erg, we can set up a trainer right next to it, and we can do very quality work that we can measure both on the erg with power output as well as on the bike with power output. So it becomes a very valuable tool in a lot of ways.
I do a lot of body weight conditioning with it. We're on the erg, we're off the erg, we're doing core training, functional strength training. So it's a great tool that ultimately enhances your swimming ability as well. So Tim, I know you agree. I mean, no question that if you can't get to a pool, that this tool can be amazingly powerful in helping you to become a better swimmer. I've seen it time and time again as a coach.
And in addition, if they don't get to the pool, I think another aspect that becomes important is having them on a pool deck in a master's program or elite swimming program, because we've seen this working with coaches working with stroke technique or activation work before they get in the pool. And again, or with injured athletes who can't be in the pool swimming, they can still be training with their team by being on the pool deck. So I think it works in a lot of circumstances.